3. Now here's Johnson. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. One goes nowhere, losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
I'd say the staff that's up in the booth watching the game, they may want to file that one away. See how fast the free safety closed to make that play? Might want to check into a throw the next time.
318, wide left.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker rule that they can fall back on anymore.
And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. On play action, it's Rodgers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to roam now. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A big chunk of yardage there, 37 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
And it's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
They will come up on a 1st and 5 following the encroachment penalty. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back to throw here. And this one complete to Reed. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another 1st down. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big-time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone. Because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
Redskins with their first trip to the red zone thus far. It's 1st and 10 from the 12.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now back to throw. And he fires one incomplete. Jordan Reed was the intended target. And now it's second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Detroit! Detroit! Over!
And they'll run it here. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Out of the gun now on third down. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
I think we can make this one pretty simple. That was a rookie mistake made by the rookie quarterback, trying to force a pass without really using proper mechanics.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And it's 3-0 as the Redskins strike first. So a pretty good opening drive. That'll make the home fans somewhat happy. They wanted 6, but they got 3 in the early lead.
And they should be happy. The guys look good getting down the field. That's got to give them a little bit of hope that good things are in store here today for them.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now it's Breida. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. They'll roll him out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
319!
Working from the gun, Rodgers. And that's complete. It's Watson. And out across midfield down to the 45. A gain of 26 on the third down conversion. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Tackled there by Monte Nicholson. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
So 3rd and 2, and I count 6 defensive backs out there. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. This is Breida. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed him for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Oh, and now movement and a whistle, and they may have to rethink their plans on 4th down. Here's J.K. Scott now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. So out now come the Redskins. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point.
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a 1st down. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And on the ground they go with a running back. And down he goes just beyond the 35. But that pretty move got him some extra space to run. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Detroit!
He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That one good for 16, and the drive that continues. Couple of 1st downs to kick off the drive. Here's 1st and 10 up at the 46.
Lucky 56.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He'll check it down to Geis. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
He's going to fire one deep over, and that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Redskins find a way to stretch their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
They'll start on the ground with Breida. He finds an opening past the 40. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he'll be taken down at the 26. It's a big play that time for the Packers. 49 yards.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
On first down, Rodgers. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I do have to admit, I like it when it all comes together. When the top part, catching the football, right, whether you're catching it with your hands or cradling it, comes together with the legs, in this case the feet, did a little toe tap to stay in bounds and complete the catch.
And a great job by our crew on the camera shot. Love when you see the grass or on the field turf, those rubber pellets flying up. Great catch. And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke.
Sometimes you're aligned perfectly and the play comes to you, and sometimes you got to cover some ground to go make the play, as we just saw there.
We saw a great example of perseverance right there on that play.
Got to be careful. They might want to.
And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by Troy Apke. And the return won't go anywhere. They'll be back deep in their own territory at the 2-yard line.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. 1:59 to go in the first half. Back to FedEx Field following this short break. Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On play action, they'll throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Adrian Amos with a pick, and he'll take this down inside the 15-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11, and he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
As much football as we watch, we've seen this work many times. In the red zone, first down, take a shot at the end zone, and points result. In this case, though, give credit to the defense. They outguessed them, were prepared, and intercepted the pass.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Big hold of the 30. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. Big yardage that time for the Redskins. And even 80 yards. So all the way down close to the goal line. Good blocking up front. Helped to spring him.
When this drive is over, he's got to get to the bench and sing Kumbaya with the offensive line, doesn't he? Big-time openings for him. Gets him all the way down to the 2-yard line. Let's see if they can pound it in.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
He's going to get it running right. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. They'll look to throw on 3rd and goal. And that is caught by the tight end Reed. Touchdown, Washington. Jordan Reed with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Redskins are going to add on to their lead. Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes our score 17-0. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off near the 42. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
17 yards is the pickup there for number 17.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
To throw now on 2nd and 10. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Blake Martinez, the linebacker, was there in coverage to disrupt.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that, and we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
14 seconds, all that's left of this first half as they come up on 1st down. A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. Going for the deep ball. It got his man complete. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. On now is Mason Crosby, who's hit from as far as 58 in his career. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. So we've reached halftime here in D.C. in our nation's capital with a home team, the Redskins, on top. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here come the Redskins now. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he fires one that's intercepted. First career pick for the rookie Josh Jackson. But they needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the third quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
And Rodgers intercepted a third time. Monte Nicholson picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richardson. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here on first down. And he's got his target. It's Vernon Davis. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
They're going to look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But the Redskins look to get this one back, and indeed they did. It's still Washington football.
On plays like this when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Buying time to us. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Mike Daniels in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He'll look to throw. A deep ball for Dotson. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into Green Bay territory. So with the pass being completed, they'll go ahead and take that instead.
Nothing extra to be gained. Pass interference at the spot, completed the pass. That was your play. So it might as well have not even had the penalty.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And time finally runs out. He can't get rid of the football, and he's taken down.
Well, enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
The Redskins on 3rd down. They've converted 4 times out of 6. Not bad. This is 3rd and 11. Off the play fake. He'll look to throw. Oh, it's a touchdown if he holds on. Instead, it's 4th down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will up the score now. It's 23-zip. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. A gain of 6 there on first.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Rodgers to throw on 3rd and 1. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That catch puts him over 70 yards receiving now as he's got a first down. Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. Here's Breida. Oh, and now some space to operate. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
They go play action here on 1st down. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up first downs.
1st and 10. Here's Rodgers. Oh, he had 6 points in his hands there. Couldn't hang on. 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. That's incomplete. Nearly another pick. My goodness.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Rodgers now to throw. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down.
319.
Now Rodgers got to have this one. And he's got it. It's caught for a Packers touchdown. Equanimeous St. Brown, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers make some inroads here on that deficit. Rodgers again now. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. They've been pretty anemic on this side of the football in the second half, just 3 points, and you just saw the touchdown go the other way, so it's a 2-score game. We're not done here yet.
I think everyone's on the edge of their seats now because they're anticipating what's coming, and I sense that everyone in the stadium knows they need to keep it on the ground. So if you're going to do that, hope the quarterback is stretched a little bit. Some bootlegs, right? Some fakes inside, getting out to the perimeter. Those might be open for him.
Yeah, they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. A very good gain on 1st down. 9 yards on the dump off. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
So now, following the big play, they've got a 1st and goal all the way down at the 10. They'll drop to throw. Out to the left, it's complete to Dykson. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. On 3rd down, that's Love. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. And now a timeout coming from the defensive side for the Packers. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And Hopkins' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down. But don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Steps away. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Here's Rodgers to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
The Packers on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. On play action. Now Rodgers going up top. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40, and his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Mike Daniels makes the tackle.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables. Otherwise, they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Now they got to get to the line quickly.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, what was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next week, and let's go play.
25 yards the pickup there, and also a first down.
Man, these guys may not win this ball game, but you certainly can't fault the effort of this man here today. He's been a real thorn in their sides all afternoon. And that last carry puts him over the 100-yard mark.
Now this time Rodgers will throw. And Rodgers is going to go down. He's sacked.
Exactly what they were looking for. They've been giving up yardage. They've been letting them drive right downfield, but they got a sack right there. How about that for a little bit of revenge?
On second down, here's Rodgers. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A nice pickup there, 19 yards. And they're set up better for third. From midfield, here's Rodgers. And that is incomplete, stopping the clock with 5 seconds to go.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it. One final try for Rodgers. We've seen this before. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types